So I belong to a family where ethics and competence and contentment was given more weightage than anything else. Where I was introduced to uncover various frauds happening in various corporate. So when we maintain high level of ethics and high level of integrity in whatever we are doing.
Hello and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast series by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm Sunny Pancholi, and today we have the privilege of speaking with a leader who has dedicated over 2 decades to strengthening corporate governance, risk management, and forensic accounting. Her work has helped organizations identify financial risks, prevent fraud, and build stronger compliance frameworks. With experience at Dun& Bradstreet and American Express, Ms. Jyoti Khetarpal has conducted over 15,000 due diligence assignments, investigating fraud worth rupees 40,000 crore, and played a key role in shaping risk management strategies for businesses across industries. As the founder and CEO of Brisk Check Solutions, she continues to guide organizations in navigating fraud risk, corporate compliance, and ethical business practices. But beyond the numbers and investigations, her work is about building trust, ensuring accountability, and helping businesses operate with transparency. With a career built on expertise, strategic thinking, and a deep understanding of governance, her journey offers valuable lessons for professionals, leaders, and businesses alike. Ms. Khetrapal, it is a pleasure to have you with us on FaceTime with Leaders. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sunny. And I'm as excited as you guys are to be part of this particular FaceTime. Thank you so much for having me here.
Great to hear that. So, Ms. Jyoti, no one wakes up one day and decides to become an expert in fraud risk, forensic accounting, and corporate governance. It's a journey filled with unexpected turns, challenges, and defining moments. So, you have spent over 2 decades uncovering financial risk, safeguarding businesses, and shaping governance frameworks. But if we rewind to the beginning, was there a moment, a case, or even a lesson early in your career that made you realize this is what I'm meant to do? Or did your path unfold in ways you never anticipated?
So basically, Sunny, when I started my career, forensic investigation was little bit unknown territory. So when we go back and say how did I start? So I belong to a family where ethics and competence and contentment was given more weightage than anything else. So going with that, what happened is one day when from switching from science to commerce, I was introduced audit, and there was a statement: auditors are watchdogs, not bloodhounds. So I always wondered why not? Why not bloodhounds? Why just watchdogs? So that was basically taken care of when I joined American Express. And in American Express, there was a rigorous 2 weeks induction program where we were introduced whistleblower mechanism. So that was the aha moment, you may say, that okay, fine, now I can do something new. But when we talk about a formal start of this career into forensic investigation, risk management, it was the time when I joined Dun& Bradstreet in Mumbai long back, and I got the privilege of heading their risk mitigation vertical. So this is how the journey started.
That's such an interesting journey, Ms. Ketapal, and it's always fascinating to see how careers take shape, not just through planned decisions, but through experiences that challenge and shape our perspectives.
No doubt, no doubt.
So, Ms. Ketapal, fraud risk assessment and forensic accounting aren't just about numbers. They require intuition, attention to detail, and the ability to uncover what isn't immediately visible. So, it's a field that demands both a sharp analytical mind and investigative instinct. So, what
Yeah.
initially drew you to this niche? Was there a particular case, experience, or realization that sparked your passion for uncovering financial misconduct and helping organizations build stronger, more transparent systems?
So basically, as I mentioned, that my background was basically built on integrity and ethics. So whatever organization I have worked with, and luckily American Express and Dun and Bradstreet, where values were given more weightage over performance. So this is how my journey started. And yes, definitely there were defining moments, because moving from back office of a bank, going towards risk mitigation management division, handling the entire process, and then joining a small organization where I was introduced to uncover various frauds happening in various corporate. So the journey started with that. I must say, it was not a defined moment. It was not, you may say, a particular case which triggered, but definitely over the period, it got inbuilt into my experience. And now, when I look back, I had never thought of it. It just kept on happening, and I kept on delivering what was required at that time. So this is how it happened. Definitely I can share something that how we go about it. So I was introduced to due diligence long back, somewhere around 2010. And at that time, due diligence was nothing but find out any cases against a person and all that. So in that particular moment, when we started, or me and my team started, we were going beyond just a small way of conducting it, or the structured way of conducting it. So we went behind it, which was human psychology, I must say. Until now, that human psychology part is covered in each and every kind of investigation, you may say, or the consultancy assignment, you may say. Because here what we do in every kind of assignment, whether you call it due diligence, you call it financial fraud risk assessment, you call it SS searches, you call it industry related risk mitigation assignment, we just profile people, or profile the industry, or profile the business first. And then it's more about finding the facts. Definitely, intuition plays a very good role, but finding the facts and joining the dots. Unlike a legal framework or the profession where we have to prove something right and wrong, in this particular profession, we don't have to prove anything right and wrong. We just have to find the facts, what is truth, and connecting the dots. And we don't give verdicts, we just present the facts. This is how it is. And this is very highly fascinating, because every assignment is different. Previous experience may help us in shortening the assignment tenure, but every case is unique, and every time our intuition, our experience, our expertise is tested. So that's what makes it very interesting.
Ms. Khetrapal, it's incredible how fraud detection goes beyond just numbers. It's about understanding behaviors, spotting red flags, and ensuring organizations can safeguard themselves against risk they might not even see coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So that's what I said. It's not just about numbers. It's about the ethics. It's about the behavior. It's about the integrity. It's about the values organization imbibe in their each and every process. It may be a manufacturing process, but in that, in case you have the values of a minimum pollution, minimal wastage, minimal risk to your people, so that is also some values and ethics and integrity getting into each and every step in the organization.
Amazing, amazing, Ms. Khetrapal. So let's dive a little deeper into your journey and your experiences.
Sure.
So leading over 15,000 due diligence assignments and uncovering frauds worth rupees 40,000 crore is not just an achievement, it's a testament to the impact of your work in safeguarding businesses. So, but behind those numbers are, real challenges, complex investigations, and moments that must have tested your skills and instincts and patience. So, was there a particular case that stood out? One that was especially very difficult, unexpected, or personally very memorable?
Yeah, well, it's a client's privilege information. There are n numbers of cases which I would really like to share. But in this podcast, I can only share one or two, and definitely with masked names and numbers and the industry. So
Absolutely, yes,
basically,
yes, please.
Yeah, so basically, for each and every assignment, which are the simpler ones, we normally crack them in a day or two, and which are the complex one, we do have our sleepless nights. I must admit that, but it had never happened that we could not actually find out what is behind it. So we do have sleepless nights. We do have our bit of challenges. We do have certain you may say heated arguments within the organization or within the team, that okay, fine, which way is the best, we have limited timeline, how to go about it. So very interesting case I would like to share with you here. It's not always about the numbers, and as we discussed, it's not always about finding the fraudster or finding the fraud. And the case I want to share with you is all about finding the facts, and it's not about finding people guilty or like bloodhound. As I said, it's about finding the facts. So I'll share a case where we actually held the person to sustain and to remain in his job. So it was a few years back when we got whistleblower complaint, and not just one, plenty of them, against a person, stating that this person is carrying a weapon in the office, which is completely against the organizational values and the culture. And there were not just one, and on the top of it, this was the person which was recommended by us out of the 10 candidates for that position. It was a key management position, taking care of many processes. And what happened then, 3 years or 3 to 4 years down the line, there were complaints pouring in. So that was very difficult for us to digest, first of all. But definitely, as I said, we start profiling people, we start connecting the dots. We did the same from the scratch. While we knew this person earlier, we started doing it from the scratch. And we didn't find anything wrong. So why this person was carrying weapon to the office, place of work? We took help of technology, definitely. We took him through psychometric test under casual circumstances, and we got to know he's somebody who will do whatever that person wants to do, but definitely for the right purpose, which is in favor of the organization, not for himself, but which is right for the organization. Now you would be wondering that how a carrying weapon will be beneficial to the organization, and that was the question for us also. And then going behind it, we got to know that he was getting threats from various service providers, uh, whom he had actually put on bench, or whom he made sure that they should not be defrauding the company. There should not be any leakage, because when we looked at the books, the moment person joined and 3 months down the line, the leakage in the process had minimized. So that was the reason he was carrying weapon, to safeguard and to keep such people away from that particular position. So it is always again organizations call whether they want to see all black, black and white, white, or there is a chance for gray area also, for the benefit of all the stakeholders and the organization. So this is how it happened. And ultimately, the organization retained that person, and we were really happy for him. So this particular case was very close to, in fact, it is close to my heart even now, because we could actually safeguard a person's job, not just the job, the integrity and the behavior which he was actually doing for the benefit of the organization itself. So that is one case. There are many cases which I think we can discuss offline sometime, maybe.
Absolutely, and I'm sure there will be many cases. But yes, what an incredible story and what an incredible case you just discussed with us. This is little weird to us, but have you ever got a thought to join CBI or no?
Yes, many a times, many a times.
Okay.
But then I think there are already many people with so much experience. So let's not why not build it here in the organization, because they also need few people. So definitely, if given a chance, I will.
All right, okay. But jokes apart, let's move ahead. So, Ms. Khetrapal, handling workplace harassment cases isn't just about policies, it's about people, emotions, and ensuring a process that is both just and unbiased. So, as someone who has chaired multiple POSH committees, you have had the responsibility of navigating highly sensitive cases where every decision impacts lives and careers. So, what are some of the biggest challenges you have faced in ensuring fairness and neutrality?
So I'll tell you, answer is just in one single statement. No person is guilty until proven so. So this is the, you may say, tagline, or this is the idea behind, or this is the statement we start with for any investigation. As I said, unlike legal practice, we are not here to uh, pass a judgment. We are not here to be biased towards our client. Okay, my organization is going to pay me, and they are saying, prove this wrong or prove this person wrong. We are not here to do that. We are here for fact finding. So, luckily, when you say challenges, luckily we don't face any challenges, because the way we behave, or I would say the way I have conducted various investigations, and finding the facts and putting the facts across, making people and organizations understand what we are saying, what went wrong, and why this particular investigation is happening, why was it necessary, why it how did it start at all. So making them understand is very important, and once they understand it, there are no I would say problems or challenges in going ahead. uh, as I mentioned, yes, this is at times time taking. We do have our sleepless nights. At times, it is very difficult to find out who's right and wrong. But again, we go by the facts, and at the end of the day, no person is guilty unless proven wrong. So this is the mantra behind every investigation, and that's how we conduct each and every assignment. More so, at times, what happens is people do come to us with certain agenda behind. So we just tell them to sorry, we cannot take your assignment. So that's how we keeps that kind of behavior or expectations away from our you may say deliverables, or our a way of working, because it is not advisable when we are in this kind of work. So ethics and integrity in our process is very important when we are going to preach it to others. So when we maintain high level of ethics and high level of integrity in whatever we are doing, then we have no problem at all. And luckily, we have not faced any kind of challenges. uh, Definitely, difficulties are there in our business, and those are very interesting to deal with, I must say.
That's such an important perspective, Ms. Khetrapal. Handling workplace harassment cases is never straightforward, and ensuring a fair, unbiased, and sensitive approach requires both experience and sound judgment.
No doubt, it does. It does. So it's like at times I have personally came across where people are trying to take benefit out of the given loss. I have came across certain assignments or certain cases where there is just a sheer misunderstanding or foolishness. I must say, human behavior here plays a very good role, very important role. So we need to understand at what stage a person is at that particular time when we are investigating or we are finding out. People do try to abuse their authorities. There is greed quotient, there is lust, and there is, you may say, a desire to abuse authority. And at times there is desire to showcase, wow, I have achieved so much, and that brings ego, ruthlessness, improper behavior. So all these things put together tells us the personality of a person we are investigating, or the circumstances of a case when two people had certain kind of misunderstanding or actual harassment. So putting everything across and noting down each and every aspect gives us very good, you may say, platform to start with and present and conclude one assignment. So this is how we work on various assignments. No doubt it requires grit, it requires experience, and it requires a good amount of time and dedication for that.
Very well put forward, Ms. Khetrapal. Amazing, amazing. Truly. All right. So, talking about geographies, fraud isn't bound by borders, but the way different regions approach risk and governance can be, vastly different. So, having spoken at international conferences like the ACFE Asia Pacific Fraud Conference, you have had a front row seat to global conversations on fraud prevention and corporate governance. So, how do these global perspectives compare to the Indian corporate landscape? And part B is, are there any key differences in how fraud risks are identified, managed, or even perceived?
So let me start with this. Humans are human. You must have seen. They have been fighting since they have turned from apes to human, and it is beyond any boundary or any geographical region. So basically, it's all about human psychology. It's all about human behavior. It's all about greed, lust, and that, or putting it together to human psychology. So when we talk about certain cases or certain assignments or certain behavior, it's all same across globe. I must say that the differences we can talk about is, for example, I told you I was introduced to whistleblower mechanism long back in 1998, but in India, whistleblower mechanism came into force recently, maybe 10, 12 years old phenomena. So that is the difference, how the regulations have been formed, how the technology is playing a part in it. There is a difference in that. Response time, communication, acceptability, and the value system. Now, in an economy which is growing very fast and vastly, there's less time to look at the governance at times. There's very less time to focus on right and wrong. It's more about let's grow, let's grow, let's grow, and we will look at it later. That happens. But when we talk about geography, sticking to your question, human psychology remains the same. The only difference I would say is primarily about rules and regulations. Standards are becoming more or less same in all the geography with IFRS, GDPR, and now SDGs coming into place. And then the response time and rules and regulations, response time, technology, and the ability to accept. So that is the main difference. And when we are placed at one particular position, maybe perhaps in India or outside, uh, legal framework or regulatory framework, it hardly takes a week or 10 days to understand. But when it comes to implementation, it comes with the experience, because nobody is going to actually change the human psychology or behavior. And that is going to remain same. And that's
Right.
true within given legal framework. There are certain local laws and regulations we need to follow, and which are not drastically different in different geographies. They are more or less same with, for example, a facilitation in one geography is acceptable, while in UK Bribery Act, it is prohibited. So with
Right.
small local shifts in the rules and regulation, more or less, it's standardized now. When we started, it was not like that, but now it is more or less standardized.
Right. So Ms. Khetrapal, with a career dedicated to risk management, forensic accounting, and corporate governance, you have already made a significant impact in shaping ethical business practices. So, as you continue to influence the industry, what are your future aspirations? And do you see yourself stepping into more boardroom roles where your expertise can directly shape governance policies at the highest level?
So, well, I'm already advising boards, various boards on risk mitigation management and strategies, not just uh, big companies or listed companies or MNCs, but even the startups as well. So I'm already advising them. At times, a few companies they want to get into one particular industry. So I am advising them on which industry to go for if they have a list of industries in terms of geographical, geopolitical issues, geographical advantages, um, and other economical benefits and all that. That is already in place. What I have already created is named as Brisk policies. Brisk is the brand under which I'm operating. So Brisk policies is another brand which I created 3 4 years back, and it has the entire list of policies. I have seen people starting their business, and I mentioned earlier also focusing on the growth and sidelining the ethical and integrity part or the processes part, and in later they actually have to pay a huge price in terms of some key management person um, uh, leaving them and joining a competition, some bribery or corruption event happening. Ethics are very weak in the organization. People don't believe in integrity and all that. So that particular framework is already in place. Many startups are already taking benefit out of it. When you say legacy to leave behind, it's an interesting question. So basically, in an ideal world, it should be competence and content people over greedy and full of lust people, I must say. So that is the ideal situation, which is not possible, to be honest, because we have to understand that we have to have some risk appetite till the time human beings are managing the organizations, and AI is not going to take us over. But again, coming back to the question of leaving the legacy, I would say I would like to productize all these services which I have been giving manually with the help of my team and organization. Uh, One thing remains constant: human intellect cannot be replaced until AI is going to take that intelligence level. So, productizing these fraud risk assessment and integrity related services is the next level which I'm looking at. And we have made a significant progress in that already.
That's truly inspiring, Ms. Khetrapal. It's one thing to build a successful career, but another to use that expertise to drive real change at a strategic level and build ethical organizations.
Yeah, no doubt. Because see, at the end of the day, if we are not giving back to the society, but we are taking from it in terms of environment, not just for the stakeholders. Now the definition of stakeholder has also changed. It's not just about profits, or the owners or the shareholders. Stakeholders are everybody. You and me. We are also stakeholders for an organization. So taking care of environment, taking care of sustainability, taking care of governance, all these are the new you may say expectations from any organization. So building on that is very important, starting from the beginning. That's what I would advise to any organization, and that's what I'm striving for.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about corporate governance since it isn't just about policies and regulations, it's about creating a culture of accountability, ethical
Yeah.
decision making, and long term sustainability. So, with your extensive experience in risk management and compliance, how do you see corporate governance evolving in today's business landscape?
Say corporate governance, earlier it was like ticking the box kind of behavior just to meet the compliance. But these days the things are changing. People do want each and every organization, each and every person should be responsible for the governance part of it. So it's about wherever you are placed. Just deliver that ethically with integrity, and that's what the corporate governance is. Now, coming to the compliance, compliances has its own given rules and regulations for which there are positions who are taking care that they should follow each and every rule and regulation and the governance norms. And putting them down to the base level of employees, I must say, that is a challenge, as well as that is going to be a boon if we can do that. Because each and every person, if starts behaving in a manner that they are performing their task with greatest level of ethics and integrity, then all these rules and regulations and all these tick box checks will be automatically taken care of. So we are definitely shifting towards that. How soon? I'm not sure, but definitely very soon, because organizations are now open for that. And that we are feeling the change specifically when we go to the organization for advising. We see that, okay, fine, okay, you are already doing this. So at times I have turned down that you are doing the right thing. Why are you hiring us? No need to hire us. You are doing the right thing. So that's how it's changing, and this change is really welcomed by people like us. So we need to look for another jobs. That's why I said uh, we are productizing. We are going to productize our service because it will be required in the near future with the help of technology.
But that's really an insightful perspective, Ms. Khetrapal. Corporate governance is not just about compliance, it's about shaping a company's reputation, resilience, long term success, and many more things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because when we talk about sustainability, it is about resilience. When we talk about sustainability, it's not just about profits, profits, profits. It's about your risk appetite. It's about your resilience. It's about your existence in the changing world. And world is changing rapidly. Today you are doing something. Tomorrow it is going to be obsolete. So what are you going to do with that? So which direction are you heading? Are you going to continue the way you were working, or you are ready, or you are adaptable to whatever changes happening, whether it's geopolitical, whether it's related to technology, whether it's related to environment. What if your factory is shut today? So all these things a person or an entrepreneur or an organization has to take into account when they are in business. And it's not difficult. At times we do get, shall we focus on this or shall we focus on our business? Okay, fine, you focus on your business, but keep all these things in mind. Then you will never have to focus on anything else. There will be no emergency. You will be sailing through peacefully. So that is the resilience, that is the sustainability, and that is what we are striving for. And every organization must strive for that. And we do see good change over there, and they are accepting, not just because of rules and regulations. Organizations are forthcoming and they are implementing various processes and procedures and keeping them in place so that they can survive for a longer period, not just making profits but having better societies, because they are going to live in the society only, or the society only. This is how the changes are happening.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what World Development Corporation also thrive for.
Yeah, I do agree to that. That's why we are having this conversation.
Exactly. So, Ms. Khetrapal, stepping into Directors Institute marks a key milestone for professionals committed to governance excellence. So, what drew you to join this platform, and how has it broadened your perspective on leadership, risk management, and decision making at the highest levels?
Sure. So my decision to join Directors Institute is basically driven by my extensive experience, my expertise in risk mitigation, risk management, corporate governance, strategic advisory. See, I'm a chartered accountant with 20 years of experience, corporate experience, and I have been advising both on risk mitigation management strategies. So joining the database actually perfectly aligns with my professional aspirations. Further, it has expanded my leadership influence, definitely. Then it is going to leverage my risk and governance expertise, because both require professional with deep insight into financial risk, fraud investigations or prevention, and regulatory compliance, etc. And it's a very good networking opportunity as well. It is going to enhance my corporate governance practice. And again, I came across that you have certain AI-driven databases also. So bringing AI and risk mitigation together, definitely it is going to help in integrating emerging technologies into the governance strategies. So I think overall it's a very good combination, and I think we can do really well together in this journey. So when we talk about leadership perspectives have evolved significantly over the period. It's especially from response to technological advancements, globalization, and corporate governance reforms. And from a risk management and board advisory standpoint, I must say the transformation has been really, really profound because earlier it was, there's a shift. Earlier it was more about control. Now there's a shift from control to collaboration. It's not just about control. Now earlier it was how to avoid risk. Now it's more from risk avoidance to risk resilience. We are not sticking to risk avoidance only. Earlier it was just historical data, going through the historical data. Now it's more about historical data driven decision making. Earlier it was you may say forensic was more about what happened in the past. Let's find out. Now learning from the past, learning from the available data, and taking, you may say, informed decision. This is how the things have changed. Again, turning towards ethical and transparent governance. Earlier, which was just tick the box, as I was mentioning. Now it is more towards ethical and transparent governance. It's not just about tick the box. It's more about let's do it right at the first place. And definitely with digital and AI integration, risk mitigation has taken a completely different role. We discussed about it in the previous when I was saying we need to look for new jobs now. And then it helps in crisis leadership and stakeholder engagement. When we can prove and we can communicate, when we can tell that how this particular risk mitigation management vertical can help in crisis leadership, can help in stakeholder engagement, can help in basically shaping the organization, having proactive preparedness. In that case, definitely, organizations are going to be more accepting this particular thought, and stakeholder engagement will increase. So this is all about, because it has changed drastically, just from control to collaboration, and from just tick the box to more resilient and transparent organizations. That's it from my side.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Ms. Khetrapal, let me tell you this. This has been an incredibly insightful conversation. From your journey in risk management and forensic accounting to your deep expertise in corporate governance, it's clear that your work has made a significant impact on how businesses approach transparency, compliance, and ethical leadership. So thank you for sharing your time, expertise, and perspectives with us today. It's been a pleasure learning from you.
Thank you, Sunny, and thank you for having me here on this FaceTime. I look forward to more such occasions.
Thank you once again, Ms. Jyoti Khetarpal, and to all our viewers. Thank you for joining us on this episode of FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast series by Directors Institute. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to follow us for more thought-provoking discussions with industry experts. Until next time, keep leading with integrity, innovation, and impact. Thank you so much, and have a nice time.